Hello and welcome to another episode of Philosophical Questions for one guy. Should have a nicer title for that, right? One person talking to himself, mumbling, philosophers, dialogue with yourself, something like that. I'll think of something, and maybe this video will already have the title that is fitting for that. As always, I have a list of philosophical questions. The link is in the description, and I use the number randomizer by Google to find one of the questions from the list, because it's 205, and if I generate a number now, it's 132. Let's have a look at that question. 132. Why do humans often associate beauty with morality? Okay. As always, I'll try to say it in about 5 minutes from now on. Well, first question, is that true? Do we associate beauty with morality? I like the word often. I mean, we often do, no question. In old fairy tales, for example, I think it's very often the case that the good people are usually the good-looking people, you know, and the witches and the monsters, the ogres and dragons, usually they are ugly. And the reason for that is, of course, I think that that our visual ideas, things that we see, you know, we symbolize things. So if we want to tell children something about evil people, really bad people with low morals, we describe them as ugly, so that the child immediately knows, oh, that's the bad guy. And I think that works in later years as well. You know, when we show somebody who's unshaven, I should shave myself, so maybe I'm the bad guy at the moment. If we show somebody who's really dirty, you know, and I don't know what's bad looking today. I mean, we come to that later. But if we see that in a film, we usually say, "Oh, that guy has a problem." Doesn't mean he's morally bad, but at least we would say, "Okay, let's find out what this guy is about." When we see a beautiful person, I think there's two ways of presenting beauty. One is the idea of we have an immediately stereotypical idea about this. You know, a woman with long blonde hair and a lot of makeup may look beautiful, but usually we would say, she's not real, she's not natural, and we're critical about that. If we see a good-looking man, you know, with a lot of muscles, very strong and big, with a smile on his face, we say, maybe he's stupid. You know, these stereotypes like these. And So I think today we don't associate beauty with morality in itself. We are quite cynical sometimes about it. But still, very often with the dirty, homeless guy, you would say, oh, he has lovely eyes, and he's still young. So youth and nice eyes would say that although he's a homeless bum, you know, he's a good guy. Strange thing with gangsters, right? If we have a lot of gangster movies and have had them since the 1940s, I think, where you have gangsters who are morally incorrect, but women find them sexy. I think women look at them and say, look, you know, he knows what he wants and he knows how to get it, or something like that. So, what is this question aiming at? On the one hand, I would say it's not true anymore. There's a lot of differences we make, but there's on a very basic level, I would still say we have this tendency with beauty that we would consider beauty universally. That is, I think, why people think animals are beautiful. Most animals are beautiful. I think most people would agree. Maybe not spiders and bugs and worms, but even there, you don't find many people today who say, well, that's ugly. A lot of people would say, oh, well, it's very fascinating. And it's true, right? And if I see a cat or a dog or a tiger or a whale or a dolphin, oh, these are very beautiful animals. The beauty we see in them is connected with a lot of things, with the rarity of these animals, with a wonderful design that evolution has created. But most of all, for example, I think an aspect like innocence. Even a hunting tiger that kills another animal, we would never say, oh, that's horrible. I would say it, but people are angry at me. Because the word horrible, the morality simply does not apply to the animal. So if you leave out morality, the idea of morality, maybe more things seem beautiful to us. And if we put in morality, a lot of things seem ugly to us. In humans, there are a few things that I think are connected with beauty universally. That is health and youth. Maybe even connected, you know. If we see a young person, a child, we usually find these children beautiful if they are natural. And with teenagers, you know, the problem with teenage girls, you know, they put on makeup and we say, oh, why do you do that? And she said, I want to look pretty. And we think, older people like us think, you are pretty, you are young. Every young person is pretty. And the other thing with health, yeah, it's we get very old today, and we look into the mirror and we see, oh, there's something's wrong with us, and we see the little signs of age, and the teeth are not as white as they were. But when we see a healthy person, we say, oh, what's your secret? You know, you're doing something right. Maybe this is the last thought about it. In a way, we think that a person who takes care of himself takes care of others, maybe. A person who doesn't put on makeup to look pretty, but who's healthy, who lives a healthy life, has an idea about the value of life, has self-esteem, you know, thinks about himself in a positive way, and probably thinks about others in a positive way. Just an idea. I don't know if that is true. And yeah, with kids and with children, with youth, it's more the innocence, because a lot of kids can be quite immoral and selfish and so on, but we project ourselves into them and think, young people know nothing about bad things. And that would be my first answer. Why do humans often associate beauty with morality? If you have your own ideas, I'm happy to hear them or to read them, and let's talk about them next time we meet.